All right, y'all. What up? Otis Funkmeyer. I'm here with the homie Stix. We're gonna watch Stix. We're gonna watch Stix with the crew.
Apparently, people want to watch me dance.
People want to watch him dance. They want to watch him talk about him dance. Oh, that's cool. Dev says talk about how they get the ideas for the routine, stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so what do you? So we brought this one up. You want to tell us a little bit about this, a little backstory before we start the analyzing?
Yeah, Flavobots, dope crew out of Taiwan, trying to change the game. Nick Lee and those guys, Mr. Wu, and they're really trying to push, bringing in more different styles and different approaches to the dance. So they started to carry the torch that like the DC guys, the Assassins, did with their book of styles, and then Jack of all trades in Montreal. So the Style Dynasty was that competition like that, where you had different styles like that. So definitely was like proud to be part of this, honored to be part of this. We came out there with Money B. I came out there and filmed the whole thing. I wanted this is Money B's first time traveling outside the country, so this was a big deal for him. This was my first time in Taiwan, so I filmed the whole thing. I made a whole like recap video too, which is really dope to watch if you guys want to watch that at some time. But this was like the performance we did there, and yeah, so we'll get into it more.
Let's get in. Tick tick pop. I did it again.
Oh, come on, man.
Did it again. So you had one job.
No, you're doing a lot of things there.
All right, thank you.
Oh, so the beginning of this routine, we actually, is a tribute to Playboy Rob. We're doing the same routine. There's a video of them in 1981. And we're doing the beginning of it, the exact same routine.
As soon as we hear that music turned up, they're going to be dancing their very special moves, as I've always called them. So here they are, Playboy Incorporated.
So that was audio from the actual video. We just really wanted to like, it's kind of a tribute that we wanted to do to Rob, you know? So this was the song they were dancing to as well. And our homie from Scotland, Tesco, did a little remix of it, which is really came out really dope.
What did he do to it, you know?
Well, it'll change. You'll hear the song change a little bit. So this is where we kind of started switching it up, doing, this was an old movie we did right there, the Tupac thing.
Is this still the original routine?
No, we added that little tick.
Okay.
This is like kind of the original one right here. And Sam Pat didn't fit right. This is where the remix. This is Tesco right here.
Tesco.
Throwing it down. This is all our stuff, some new stuff that came up here.
So is there anything you can say about
Oh yeah, so
the style?
yeah. So this is a domino. Well, this is some threads we're doing, right? But we're also dominoing. So this is the one that I kind of came up with, where like I wanted to go one side. If you go back, I don't need to go back to that.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's go back to that domino real quick. So the dominoes, we like to thread as Playboys in San Jose, like do a lot of threads, right? So that one I did where we go one side. It's all a domino, so we're all doing the same move one after another, but we end up threading through each other twice. So it was a little more like complex way of
Innovating.
here, add this glide.
How long did it take you to get this down?
We practiced this for like, let's say a good month and a half. Yeah, we had this one down pretty good.
And you were pretty confident by the time you did it?
Yeah.
And when you guys practice routines, do you have any kind of, is there like a certain amount of time that you find you can handle per session where your brain starts hurting?
I mean, well, it can be hard when you're coming up with stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like maybe a couple hours, 2-3 hours. I'm pretty good off that.
Yeah. And do you have any? Do you have any? That was all sick. Do you have any rules around like he knows ready to go when you get it 3 times in a row?
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, we like to say, me and Sam are kind of that way sometimes. We're like, we should be able to do it this many times in a row without messing up. But some of the other crew members aren't that strict about it. So this is like a late addition to the routine, like, because Money B unfortunately lives in Sacramento now, away from us, so we didn't have a ton of time to practice with him, but we at least came up with like a couple little steps that we could do with him. Right there. This is a catch on right here. So now he's catching on to the rest of us, right? Domino. Domino again. Money B's idea right there. He has a lot of dope ideas.
It's a very creative format.
Yeah.
You know, it's simple enough and constrained enough to have a lot of like room for creativity and variations. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, nice kick drum, chest hits. And yeah, go on.
This is an OG right here that is always trying to advance and do new stuff. So like, he has that old school flavor, does a lot of old moves, but he's always like throwing in new tuts and wave ideas, and this is one of his old classic moves that Tommy does. Dizzy,
Does that originate with any person in particular? Bionic does that?
I think he was saying Rob did that.
Okay.
I think because I asked him about that one.
Nice. I always love this when he gets into these kind of thread, I don't know, liquid kind of waves.
Yeah, he does a lot of
particularly good at that.
Yeah, his digits and like his finger stuff is crazy.
Yeah, and
he can tick. Like,
what I like about it is that the way he incorporates it, it feels like it belongs. It feels like it's old school. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like most people when they do it, it's like it looks very much like something that should be being done to like dubstep music. Or
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah, that is one thing that like
Dizzy too.
Yep. That's one thing about him. He'll come up with new stuff, and you don't even know if that was new or what he did back, in like the 80s.
Right,
it's like, right. That's because he's so good at that. Yeah. But yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, really, really dope experience. Like that was like again Money B's. Like I would say watch that original video that I made, or the recap video I made or whatever, because it just shows like Money B's personality and his character. Like he's such a like just a funny dude to be around, and he was like a kid there, just like seeing all this new stuff for the first time.
Yeah.
So like that was a huge impact on him, was showing him that like this, what you do means so much to these people. You know, you coming out here, even though the plane ride sucks, like traveling that far and doing all this stuff, like they loved seeing him out there. You know, so that was a really like meaningful trip for us for sure.
And how is it? You know, people have been asking in the chat, and I feel like this is a good time to talk about it. How has it been for you watching? I mean, it's very clear now that in the popping scene, strutting is very much like, you know, growing.
Mm-hmm. It's dope to see, you know, although I would say like what in general, people are kind of just latching on to that word and the differences they see versus popping. right? So
Yep.
they're kind of narrowly defining strutting in
Fair.
general.
Yep.
But the point is
Okay,
like
wait. Let's pause there for a second. So what they are calling strutting,
Mhm.
narrowly defining, what do you call what they call strutting?
I would say what they call strutting is the differences, the things that are in strutting that are different
Such
from
as,
popping,
what are some?
which is mainly the Fillmore style, which is the
Okay.
arms coming out.
Okay.
So that's like, and the side, the stepping that goes with it.
Okay.
And so when you talk to a strutter,
Yeah.
definitely that's like one of their biggest things they do, that Fillmore style. But then they'll do a tidal wave into a hop, into a robot pose, into some what they might not call it 3D or whatever terms they might use, to a backslide, and they would still call themselves a strutter.
Okay.
Right.
So is the Fillmore equivalent to the Fresno in terms of its centrality to electric boogaloo style, to strutting? Or if it isn't, what is the central, or what are the central, like in electric boogaloo style, maybe you have the Fresno and the walkout. Let's just stick with that. You have the Fresno and the walkout, is these really like kind of defining movements of that style.
Yeah. Yeah, the Fillmore is a big one. So strutting, just give a quick, the original term was used more for the group in the beginning.
Okay.
And then like with Granny and the Robotroids were a big proponent of that. I think she might have even been pushing that term for some, like maybe even coined that term for what they were doing.
Okay.
But then it became like this umbrella term. Kind of like how Boogaloo was for Oakland.
Okay.
How roboting was for Richmond, and how popping eventually was for the dance, right?
Yep.
So then within that umbrella term, you had, of course, these sub things. So like the Fillmore was probably one of the biggest ones in San Francisco, because like everybody knew, most people knew how to do some form of that, their version of that style, right? With the arms and the side-to-side steps, but also more with it, like how they did their arms. Then the steps you can vary, you don't just have to go side to side. You could do a shuffle with it. You can spin, then you hop. So like all these little movements, I mean, basically you think about like what Oakland Boogaloo was and taking those elements and putting the San Francisco steez on it, put the San Francisco style of flavor on it. And so they came up and innovated a whole new thing. And so strutting was all of that to them.
Okay.
But people don't, that's too confusing for people mostly, right? You don't want to say like, oh wait, but we tidal wave already in popping, so like I can't associate that too. That's like too many things like overlapping.
It's funny. It's like I always find myself making tech analogies. It's like I feel like that's one of the big reasons that Apple is so popular, is that you go into, let's just say, Linux, and you got all these, you got this one, and it's like this and this one, and people just, unless you're like die hard, you're just like, I don't really care that much. I'm just gonna get an iPhone. Because nobody's trying to tell me about little details about this one versus that. There's just the end. And so I get that it's like now it's almost like now we have three competing umbrella terms. We have popping and strutting and boogalooing, right? As umbrella terms, and maybe there are more that I'm not even familiar with. So did San Jose, is there, if San Francisco's edition had something to do with this whole Fillmore style, does San Jose have a specific movement that is associated with it?
That's just the San Jose definition of strutting is a little bit harder for me to wrap my head around, because like with some of them, it was almost a little bit similar, where like they were looking at the Frisco stuff that was a little different from other things they were doing too. So the Fillmore was a big part of it, and some of in the group stuff too. They would say they're like strutting and whatnot. but they were also like popping because that was like their era. They were a little later, right? So like they're a little bit more harder to figure out.
I understand. You know what? This is good for me. It's making me understand why you find yourself focused on Oakland, because it's like it's not that confusing.
Yeah.
Everything starts to get real confusing after that.
And it becomes a semantics thing too.
Yeah,
so it's
totally.
like that's why
semantics is kind of boring after a while. You realize that like these two people don't actually have different opinions. They just don't agree on the word.
Yeah. So for me, it's like I like to say when I teach, let's say I like to say I teach popping, shredding, and boogaloo class or whatever, because it's all the same family. I do stuff from each like area from what I've been influenced by, and I don't want to. Because those words can sometimes confuse people in that sense. So I just want to say, like, they're basically all the same dance, just like different versions in different areas in different eras.
Enox was telling me that, you know, him and Robo-Z and I think Two-Face they're now pushing a new umbrella term of illusional dance forms.
Okay.
Which is actually from like a modern perspective, you know, somewhat logical, like, you know, because it actually even sounds like an umbrella. It doesn't actually sound like a specific style.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
A lot of it's very confusing.
But yeah, so the San Jose had this influence from Frisco, obviously, by calling things shredding. You know, so one guy for sure was Tony Shredder, like I mentioned in a different video that we did. So like he was connected with the Samoans that lived in San Jose, so he would show them some stuff. But it's like they do kind of, and maybe this is why too, like a lot of people view shredding this way too, because San Jose's almost kind of on that same tip where they're like, you know, the stuff that the Fillmore stuff and then the group stuff, they tend to refer to that more as like shredding as well. And I think it's kind of maybe for the same reason, like they were doing this popping thing, but then here's some different stuff.
Right.
And I'm going to call that just shredding, even though shredders were also doing some similar movements.
Totally.
You know?
And I think at some level we're all human, and as much as we want to think like, oh, we want to get into the nitty-gritty, when one guy's going like this and the other guy's going like this, like that's what stands out, you know.
Right.
More than timing and, you know, and so on.
So like it's also like a area thing, an era. So like I don't want to call myself fully a shredder, just a shredder, because like I wasn't from that culture like that. I learned from like everybody. So like if I came from Frisco and learned directly from those guys, or certain San Jose people that said this is what we call shredding and that was my only thing, then I could do that. But I learned from people that said it was called popping and electric boogaloo and this and all this stuff. So like I'm kind of this, you know,
mishmash
child of all that.
Yeah, child of production.
But it's but it's all the same to me. So
yeah.
It's all boogaloo in the end.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we'll catch you later. Peace.